Okay, for our last protein tonight, it's going to be the Holten chicken fried steak. They come 40 in a case, and probably the biggest question people have is, how do I cook these? I like to use a frying pan to cook them. You can deep fry them, and in the restaurants that's what they do, but I don't have a big deep fryer, so I like to do it this way. I cook them on both sides, sear them in both sides in my frying pan in just a little bit of oil, and then I put them on the cookie sheet and finish them in the oven, and it crisps up the sides, and they work really well that way. Now you can serve them traditionally, like with the mashed potatoes and your country style gravy. Our country style gravy is the custom culinary brand. This is a peppered biscuit, but we have a country gravy too. I actually like to mix them half and half with a little bit of chicken flavoring, and so I make that as my gravy and put that over your mashed potatoes with your chicken fried steak. You can also serve them just alone with like mac and cheese and a veggie. And then another thing that we have used them for is we've made a sandwich with them and served them on a bun with a little bit of garlic butter and your lettuce, all your fixins for it. And it's kind of like a burger. It tastes just kind of like a burger, but it was really good. I think they would go really well with any kind of sauce over top. Barbecue, teriyaki, anything like that. You can even serve it on a bed of rice if you wanted. And then one of the last ways to serve them would be to cook them like we're going to cook. And so I'm going to get these going before my oil gets too hot. But I want to tell you now, they are frozen. I take these out of the freezer a little bit. They've been out about, I don't know, probably about 15 minutes. You don't want to take them out so long that they get too thawed and the batter comes off, because it does tend to do that. But you go ahead and put them in a real hot pan so that they start sizzling. And then, like, once again, we're just gonna leave them in the pan till they get crispy on the one side. I like to season them just a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and we'll let those cook a little bit. You could actually use your garlic butter too if you want to season it even more, but I just have the regular combination oil there, the olive oil and canola oil. But anyways, the last way to serve these would be to sear them like this, put them in the oven, and then when you're almost done, pull them out, put a piece of mozzarella cheese over the top, and then serve them on a bed of spaghetti, like alongside spaghetti noodles with spaghetti sauce over the top, and you'd have kind of like a beef parmesan instead of a chicken parmesan. Okay, so these are pretty well finished here on the outside. I'm gonna go ahead and take them out. You can see that they're getting nice and brown on the, you have to kind of watch them because they do tend to burn around the edges if you don't rotate them around in your pan. Okay, so we'll go ahead and put those in the oven. I usually put my oven at about 350, 375. Usually takes about, 20 minutes or so. I watch them, make sure that they're completely finished inside, and then pull them out. Okay, while our chicken fried steak is cooking, I'm gonna go in the oven. I'm gonna go ahead and make some gravy. I'm using the country gravy mix with, it's about 3/4 of a cup in 2 cups of water, and I'm going to go ahead and use the same pan that I browned that chicken fried steak in, so that it gives me some of that seasoning. So this is about 3/4 cup, and I've got not quite 3/4 and about 1.5 tablespoons of chicken gravy flavoring, just so I can get a little more chicken flavor in there. Now, you're just going to bring your water to a boil. Put your gravy mix in there. This is like the easiest gravy you have ever made. And then just stir it so you can make it so it's not lumpy. And I usually do this in a saucepan. It depends on how much I'm making. I wasn't making that much right now, so it'll work great in this pan. You can see it working. Just incorporate that all in the liquid. And then you'll see as it cooks, it thickens and becomes more gravy consistency. Now, if it gets to be too thick, because sometimes it just depends on how much water you have, how much powder you have, how much mix. If it gets to be too thick, I just add a little more milk to it. You can see the little pieces in there. It's kind of some of the chicken that was left in the pan. Now you could add milk, you could add cream. I actually have a little half and half here. I'm going to put just a little bit in there to thin that out a little bit. You can see how creamy that makes that. You can use the peppered if you prefer. It's a little spicy for kids, but if you mix it with the country, half and half, it's not bad at all. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and let that just sit and simmer until our chicken fried steak is done, and then we'll go ahead and plate it and you can see how it turns out. Okay, our chicken fried steak is finished, so we'll go ahead and plate that up. I had a few of these potatoes left, and we're gonna go ahead and just smash those so that they're a little more mashy, kind of. And then we'll take one of these chicken fried steaks. You can see that it's nice and crispy, all the coating's there. And my gravy, normally is a little smoother than this, but I kind of let it sit for a few minutes while my meat cooked. So don't do it quite so soon as I did, and it'll be better. It's a little lumpy. But there you go. That is a great meal. And if you want to put just a little parsley on it, make it a little more colorful. And then I would put some vegetables, a colored vegetable along the side, something different, add a little more color to it.